Sounded so good. Good strike. 30.5 degrees on the 7-iron and still plenty of height on it.
Tons of height, tons of flight.
Good spin.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Nicely in balance, isn't it? All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. We much talked about iron over the last few weeks on the channel as we've been highlighting all the new products that have been in this fall launch. We have the Callaway Ti Fusion irons. Yeah, definitely unique in its appearance, Michael. That's one of the first things you see with it.
Totally. You know, the darker finish, it's, you know, maybe trying to be geared towards a player's iron, but with, you know, this thing has tons of help. You know, we've hit it off camera, some pretty good stuff so far. Excited to see the full test that we do. It's packed with a load of technology, though. Yeah,
it's loaded. It's Callaway's sort of, if you want to call it, and everyone seems to have one right now, their concept vehicle.
Yeah.
You know, it's their, you know, let's try some stuff, let's put a price tag on it that allows us to do some stuff, and then if we decide that it really is meaningful to the development of our iron line, we will find out how to mass produce that, get costs down by being able to source materials and processes and things like that. But for right now, at $300 US a stick, it's pretty pricey.
Yeah, it's definitely not cheap, but again, they've got their microspheres, it is titanium, it's AI smart face on there. The nice thing as a club builder, it does have a hot melt port, so if you need to add some weight in a build, you have the ability to do it. So yeah, I mean, it looks great, and you know, I think this will be, it's in our drawers already. We sold a couple sets, but I think this will be a popular one.
I do as well. I think as a concept iron at a slightly higher price point, but not at a price point that really is going to sort of turn everyone away. There'll be enough people still with the budget to look at that if the performance is right. Obviously, it's got to stack up in the bay first and foremost. But there's enough people that's still going to be doable within their budget, Mikey. From a shaping perspective, obviously AI 200, AI 300, and then Ti Fusion launching at the same time. This one, to me, from a shape perspective, is definitely caught the eye.
Totally, a little less offset. The sole still has plenty of help, but it's definitely, you know, cleaned up quite nicely. Top line's good on it, so I mean, yeah, it's a perfect package of an iron, really.
Definitely, guys. I wouldn't be too ambitious with pushing it towards a higher handicapper, though. You know, even the mid handicappers, I'd maybe sort of steer you away from it in that, you know, it's going to be loaded with distance, but I'm not sure whether the offset profile, the sole profile, etc., even just the look of it from a playing position standpoint, if it's going to give you enough confidence. I think as an iron, it's of a smaller package that I would say the better player looking for a little bit more pop is the target market for this guy.
Yeah. No, love it. I mean, even I was thinking, could you combo this with AI 200? You said lofts are half-degree difference.
Yeah, half-degree.
Again,
you
for
could
the
well
looks in the shorter irons, might not be bad.
Doable. Then the only thing you've got the two finishes, and you know that's maybe where that becomes a little bit of a challenge. But as we always do, we seem to find that when we do these tests and we hit wedge and we hit 7, we get to 4. The 4 is the point at which does the iron retain the performance? Does the tech progress where you need it? So, you know, the needs of a 4-iron and needs of a wedge and a 7-iron are very, very different. And, you know, this test kind of exposes that, and we see that time and time again, Mikey. So
for sure,
I will be interested. What do you think of black finishes in general?
I mean, they say it's slimming. My fear is the face. You get, you know, a sandy bunker shot or something like that, it starts to go that little bit silver. But, you know, from a bag appearance, I mean, it looks really, really good.
It does look pretty sleek, doesn't it? And I think they're getting better. I do think this sort of, it doesn't look like it's more of a dip coating than it used to be. You know, it used to look like it could, like one bunker shot is going to come off. What do you think, you know, in terms of the sole? So where you see the titanium and obviously the forged body come together, my personal opinion and thought on it is you're going to see players, especially play on sort of sandy subsoil, they're going to see that, and then that's going to come off a little bit, and that outline's going to rust ever so slightly, and people are going to hate that.
Yeah, if they're not realizing that's going to happen in 6 months' time, they're going to come back to us and go, "My irons are rusting." It's not a defect; it's just the way
it's just the way
it's
that
going to
it
be.
is.
But
and there's a seam there,
Yeah.
right? It's a visible seam. That's
Totally,
why kind of like you turn your attention to it. Like that is a visible seam, which is again, guys, totally fine. You know, maybe the visible technology is not a bad thing. I'm just raising the question: are some people going to be surprised when they see a bit of wear and tear on there, that there's a bit of a rusting of that seam, and think that's a defect, to your point, and think that there's a problem with their irons?
I think performance is the answer to that. If it's the greatest iron someone's ever hit, let it rust.
Without a doubt. AI Smart Face to me has been, in my opinion, has been the technology it's been what I've enjoyed the most across the board from every company this year. I think Callaway and maybe people scoffed at them a little bit when they started talking about their use of AI and their supercomputer and, you know, how many iterations of a design that they can produce in order to, you know, develop the right, whether it's the putter face, whether it's the driver face, and obviously now in irons. I would love to think that all of that benefit is in a package that clearly is loaded with technology and can come together to create something really special. The question I have in my mind is this Callaway's best ever iron? I think that's the question that we're going to try and answer for you guys as well. Callaway, I think, are calling this the Holy Grail iron for them. That's a big statement. So is it the best iron they've ever made?
Right, pitching wedge, 130 yards.
Yeah.
Comfortable.
Yeah, again, we've been trying to do these tests with irons that are distance enhancing. We're trying to not add in too much speed the way we maybe would if it was a blade or a player's cavity test, because we want to try and be, you know, we want to try and relate to the consumer a little bit more. So, 125 to 130 is going to be absolutely fine. Let's see what it's got. Shape-wise, Mikey, I like it. Definitely nice and compact.
Passes
it's a small head.
Pitching wedge test. No high heel.
No high heel. No, nice.
Ball of choice today?
We're going to pair it up with a Callaway Chrome Tour X.
Nice.
An iron that certainly has a bit of a stronger loft profile. I think that's a great ball choice because it will give you that little bit of spin as well. So it's a quick golf ball, we know that. And obviously these irons are quick, but the one place that maybe someone might lose a little bit of control is via the spin. This is a great ball for spin. So again, if we can see that spin rate with the pitching wedge over 9,000, we're going to be in the high echelons of spin, Mikey. Let's see. That was thin, Mikey.
Got away with it.
Did get away with it.
9,000 spin on the thinny strike.
Yeah. A wee bit low in the launch because it was low in the blade, but I'd be over the moon to see it sort of get all of that distance on a bit of a miss. Better, certainly higher launch anyway.
Yeah, good strike.
Covering that number really easily.
Yeah. Yeah, those look like smoothies in there, right on top of it. 100 feet in the air. Nice. That sounded good. But for a head that's, you know, hollow body construction, it doesn't sound like it whatsoever.
It's one of the better feeling Callaways I've hit in a long time. In the techie sort of bracket.
Yeah.
I think I've said this year already, sort of Apex CB and MB I've been a huge fan of. Surprisingly, to be honest, I didn't think I would love them as much as I did.
Yeah.
These feel incredible. These probably the best feeling irons I've hit from Callaway in a long time.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, they sound really, really good.
Yeah, the titanium part of it, I think people might think that it might be a little bit pitchy, but they've controlled that acoustic really, really nicely.
So nice. So easy looking.
It's just, like I struggle a little bit with pitching wedge, you know, sometimes with, you know, getting the distance and stuff like that. That is as easy as it could possibly be.
Plenty of spin.
Yeah, tons.
These that look like a half swing in it.
Chippy one.
Ball speed off it. Holy moly. Those almost look too easy.
Never too easy, Mikey boy. Never look too easy. It's face open, but good.
So it starts to sound a little techy, but it's still like it's
Good,
a nice
isn't it?
sound. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not awful. Spin is what you were expecting.
I mean, it's high
Yeah.
in a good way. Lots of it. Again, I think we're trying to do this test and appeal to a golfer that we think is going to do well with an iron like this. That's a player who has a bit of spin.
Yeah.
Just for testing sake. If we change golf ball to a golf ball we know that's going to spin a bit less, we won't leave this in as the averages, obviously, but this will change quite dramatically. Right, so you change the golf ball, all of a sudden, a nice strike totally changes the profile of the iron.
Yeah.
So we were 6,200 spin there, we got 49.
Yeah.
It's not what you want. It's not, we don't fit that way in the bay. The iron selection has to be selected with an appropriate golf ball of choice.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's why we obviously like that Callaway golf ball for this test.
That sounded so good. Good strike. 30.5 degrees on the 7-iron and still plenty of height on it.
Tons of height, tons of flight.
Good spin.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Nicely in balance, isn't it? All right, so let's look at the 4. Sign me up, Michael.
Do it. Ooh. 3,700 spin.
That's a bit of a draw flight as well, like shallow, a bit into out. Like even the player who's got a bit more of a cutty swing will still have a nice control over that spin. There you go. It's hard not to hit these far.
You look like you're...
I'm kind of trying to hold back a wee bit.
Yeah. This thing wants to go.
It just wants to go. Spin kicked up a wee bit there, 4,000.
Yeah. 104 feet in the air again.
It's a really nice flight, isn't it?
I like that it's not acting like a driving iron.
Yeah. It's not a one-trick pony, is it? It's not one-dimensional with its height.
That's a nice flight. Just do that.
The efficiency in these is outrageous.
Yeah.
Like 145 efficiency on a 4-iron is, it honestly feels that good. I mean, it's as good a sounding iron as there is, isn't it?
Like I said earlier, like it almost looks too easy in a way. Like the irons definitely want to go. There's a lot of horsepower under them, but that peak height on all of them is impressive. Efficiency is good.
112 on a 4-iron.
Nice.
It's going to be the highest. The 4-iron is going to be the highest average in iron of the set.
Yeah.
So as you're going to go to wedge 7, then 4, which is exactly what you would want.
Yeah, I like that.
Uno for the road. I just take that all day. It's an absolute dream, this thing.
So good.
All right, guys. Well, I think officially that lived up to the billing.
I mean, yeah, they're impressive. Like we said, and we'll get into height in a second, but that 4-iron, highest launching 4-iron we've seen in a long time.
It's right up there. I think as far as irons go, though, because we're controlling speed to not make these obviously all about how far they go. I don't want this to be what the test is all about, where you stand and jump all over the iron just to show you how far you can hit it. This is going to try and be useful to you guys who we think are in the target audience for this iron. And I think at that speed, maybe the 4-iron got a little bit quicker. I couldn't really hold that one back, to be honest. But, with where the wedge was and where the 7 was, those were as good as I've struck an iron in a long time. It's all very, very centered. And I think the results kind of reflected in that, Mikey. Yeah,
spin was an impressive thing too, because I find when you get some of these hollow body irons, spin could drop off and it becomes a distance game more than anything. But these still have that, precision-like spin and launch, which is really good.
Definitely. So if we go to the compare page, we've got the wedge at 80, just under 9,000. Great standard deviation. 7-iron about 6,000. 4-iron about 4,000. Really, really happy with that.
Yeah.
This is where the story is. So the wedge averaged 97 feet in peak height. The 7-iron was 100. And then this guy, I think, was averaged about 107, 106 of peak height.
Impressive.
So to kind of be getting height where you need it is exactly what we would want.
Yeah, height and spin in a long iron. Sign me up.
Sign everywhere up. And that's coming in really, really nice and steep. So much efficiency coming out of that that 4 iron.
Mm-hmm.
If you go back again to the compare page, let's see how the other ones were. Yeah, not extremely jumpy on the 7.
No.
138 is good. I mean, it means you're striking it pretty well. But I just think with this set, there's the attributes you need where you need it.
100%.
Which is control with the wedge, consistency in the mid irons, and there's a bit more dynamic sort of influence and speed into the 4. We done an iron review last week, and the iron we reviewed, we talked about good, but this is the opposite of that.
Yeah.
Good and a bonus ball for you in
100%.
there as well. When you get to the point where it gets tough, it will make it easier for you. That's what you want.
Yeah, it's high, almost acts like a hybrid for the height, and I mean that angle of it, or descent angle is nice to see. Tons of control.
Yeah. No, guys, really, really impressive. There's a price tag that comes with it. There's a heck of a lot of technology that's packed into it. Who knows when that sort of amount of technology will make its way into the full sort of main iron line. It might not be for a while until they get those costs down a little bit. For right now, if you're struggling a little bit with the iron game, especially the distance, we've talked about AI smart face and what that gives from a consistency standpoint. Man, I'm going to struggle to tell you there's a better iron in a package that looks like that.
I agree. Yeah, they've done a nice job.
People who are playing probably not that dissimilar an iron to what I've got there with the Mizuno is maybe something like in your realm, T150s. That's the type of size of iron. I mean, that's going to stack up against all of them. And guys, remember, be appropriate with the golf ball choice. That's an important part of this test. When we test the lower spin golf ball, that was the Strixon Z-Star XV.
Mm-hmm.
It says a lower spin golf ball. We use it for players who are maybe a little bit slicey, a little bit cutty, and have way too much spin. We'll add in a golf ball choice for that. But we were using today the Chrome Tour X, which is, as we know, a little bit more spin but great speed. Pair the right golf ball with the club and the clubs of choice in your bag, and you'll get those additional layers of performance.
Perfect combo.
It really is. All right, let us know what you think, guys. Is it a step too far in price? Is the finish something that you are not a big fan of? You wish they had just done it in the standard kind of satin colours, chrome. Are any of your concerns, or is there anything that you think this is the breakthrough, or this is something that you really are keen to try? I believe it should be. I really, I don't normally sort of like be forceful with my opinion on you guys. I like you guys to discover it for yourself. People will love these irons, Mikey. They will truly, truly love them.
Make sure you request them in a fit.
Definitely, without a doubt. All right, stay tuned for more, guys. We will see you again soon.